A whole president put his presidency online to fight Galamsey. He failed, but he did not resign. A minister of state said he was not thinking right in procuring vaccines. He did not resign. The former minister for communication signed opaque deals.
Honorable Samnate George, together with DSTV. Right now, we don't know Nipas or DAD Agrokaka. Because Samnate George will say this, the next day you see DSTV on the other side saying otherwise. It seems like, say, those foreign companies, it is time for us to tell them, say, we packages nibu on I know they wanted it so by force. But whilst you are fighting on the behalf of the people, ebi mu nso bɛkyerɛ wo sɛ abusua relax yɛn nso ma sɛ bɛfight. This is what is happening right here in the Republic of Ghana. The minority in parliament made it clear, and then they stated, say, Honorable Samnate George, Sebi Jataba on resign, and as a John Dramani Mahama, Empamuno Empamfree system.
Call on him to resign, or for His Excellency the President to fire him.
After this statement, there's a minority near this made the NDC in government, and I said the NDC MPs. As some also can say, in fact, almost a minority for can say, na yo makumaya. Because you were the same people, Mukoton, Voda, Edikoma, Tedisel. At the transactions, but yet you people are calling someone to resign. Whilst they didn't call you people, I mean some of your ministers to resign. And here is the BJ show. You do well to subscribe, you share the link, tell us about the BJ show, and the next thing is you do well to leave a comment. Relax and then take a moment to listen to the majority, because in some of them say, Nanado Danko Kufuado, Omampa Mona, how much more Samnate George in 7 months?
As members of the majority caucus of the Communications Committee, we recognize the minority's concerns. We, however, emphatically disagree with their position and their call for the removal of the minister responsible for communication. This is premised on the fact that the goal of protecting Ghanaian consumers must always be the driving force behind parliamentary activities. In their statement, Honorable Oreku sought to create the impression that there are serious irregularities with the arrangement the minister reached with MultiChoice. The majority wishes to place on record that these assertions are wholly unfounded and do not reflect the facts on the ground. There is nothing irregular about the minister's engagement with MultiChoice, and there is absolutely no justification for the call on the minister to resign. The minister has acted within his mandate and continues to provide the needed leadership to stabilize and guide the sector. The criticism of the deputy ranking member offers a chance to thoroughly examine the state and progress of Ghana's communication sector, especially given the legacy issues inherited from the previous NPP government led by Mrs. Esla Owusu Ekufu, former Minister for Communication. Indeed, what the minority fails to admit is that over the past 8 years, the communication space in Ghana suffered greatly from the absence of constructive dialogue between the ministry and industry players. Some of the unpopular decisions that did not inure to the benefit of the interests of Ghanaians included the following. You recall the sale of Vodafone Ghana to Telecel under very opaque circumstances. Recall the merger of Airtel and Tigo, which was aimed to create competitive telecom operator, but resulted in significant challenges, including over $10 million in losses within 8 months and ongoing financial hemorrhage of the telecom sector. Decision to award NextGen Infraco a 10-year exclusive license to deploy 5G infrastructure under highly controversial circumstances and lack of transparency, together with concerns over financial viability and absence of competitive processes. The failure to effectively implement the Ghana Rural Telephony and digital inclusion project, which has resulted in over 4 million Ghanaians without telecommunication network. The Kenny GVG matter, one of the most opaque and contentious issues in the sector, has still not been conclusively addressed. These examples reflect the environment that existed under the former administration. Ghanaians have widely expressed support for the minister in his engagement with MultiChoice Africa. The initiative has received positive public recognition as it addresses previous pricing concerns where Ghanaian subscribers paid significantly more than others in comparable African markets under similar bouquets. Since he assumed office 7 months ago, the minister has demonstrated courage and patriotism, hence must be supported. Through his tireless efforts, the telecos has reduced the cost of voice and data services. We, the majority, will stand resolutely with the minister and call on Ghanaians to ignore the populist rant of the minority. The majority does not see anything wrong with the ministers asking for a price reduction, which is not against the law. It is in this context that the current administration measure, including the reduction in DSTV subscription prices, should be viewed as part of a broader effort to reset and revitalize the sector. On the specific issue of DSTV pricing, the minister acted in the supreme interest of DSTV consumers in Ghana by insisting on fairness, transparency, and affordability in pay TV pricing. The recent value offering of between 33% and 50% by MultiChoice, following the work of the Joint Government Industry Committee, are testimony to the minister's resolve to defend ordinary Ghanaians against unfair pricing. This is not a scandal. It is leadership in action. It is accountability in action. The claim by the minority that the minister acted unilaterally and in a manner that weakens regulations under his watch is not just baseless, but false, dishonorable, and unbecoming of members of the August House of Parliament. It is on record that the stakeholder committee was chaired by the minister, but had several directors, one deputy director general, and the director general of NCA, the director of innovation from the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, the MD and directors of MultiChoice Ghana, the group MD, and the head of governance and regulatory for Africa of Multimedia Group, of MultiChoice Group, as members of the committee. How could this be said to be a one-man show? Remember the meeting that announced the reduction in the bouquets had these people in attendance, including MultiChoice. Secondly, the Honorable Sam George Nati has led administration has delivered more tangible reforms and initiatives within 8 months, notably audit and recovery of broadcast frequencies in February 2025, reduction of data costs also in February 2025, established the first ever data pricing committee with NCA, MNOs, and consumer groups to tackle high data charges. Strategic partnership with MTN, EcoBank, British High Commission, among others. Institutional strengthening. He has directed Infraco to grant NITA full access to government IT infrastructure. He has commissioned a complete asset inventory of GIFEC infrastructure to optimize digital inclusion nationwide. He has commissioned a rigorous enforcement of critical national information infrastructure and data governance by the Cybersecurity Authority and the Data Protection Commission. He is bent on ending wasteful contracts. He has declined to renew the expensive Kenny GVG Common Monitoring Platform contract, saving the state millions. He has referred the shady acquisition of Airtel Tigo and the making arrangement to the Auditor General for advice. He is in the process of reviewing all the legal regimes of agencies under the ministry, 15 of them. He's added additional spectrum for better service deliveries to mobile network operators. He's also involved in digital skills revolution by launching the 1 million coders program in April 2025. He has completed a successful pilot phase in May 2025, validating the strategy for national rollout. The majority side of the committee is convinced that dialogue is the key. The chairman of the committee has instructed the secretariat of the committee to invite MultiChoice and the ministry together to dialogue on the way forward. The call on Honorable Sam George to resign is unfounded. For the records, the whole president put his presidency online to fight Galamsey. He failed, but he did not resign. A minister of state said he was not thinking right in procuring vaccines. He did not resign. The former minister for communication signed opaque deals. Kenny GVG, Smart Infraco, Ascent Ghana, and the rest. He never resigned. Nobody called on him to resign. How do you call on a minister who has achieved such in just a little over 8 months to resign? We call on Ghanaians to disregard the call on the minister to resign and rally behind him in his attempt to look for better deals in the communication space. Thank you very much for your attention.
That's our majority in parliament. As someone said, the great, and I said the so-called the great minority. I don't know. But I don't know what you think about this matter, because the matter of DSTV and then Honorable Sam George, I think there needs to be some clear statement about this. And then if the sector minister send the worker say what even shows say ampa. Here is the BJ show. Do well to subscribe, you share the link, tell us about the BJ show, and the next thing is you do well to leave a comment.